not make it there at 420. But I think it just happens to be 420 right now. So I think I made it. It's 420 somewhere anyways. But let me sit you down here for a second while I get a couple things straightened out. Like I say, I was running a few minutes late. Just a few minutes late today, you might say. That happens. But I'm here. So, oh, goodness sakes. I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm your host, 420 Jim. For those who don't know, my legal name. 11-year cannabis advocate now. And believer in the Father and the Son above. And spent 10 years traveling around the country fighting for everyone's rights to cannabis and hemp and had their records destroyed. I hear there's good news. Now, I haven't actually seen it or whatever, but I did see a post where Biden is or has pardoned 2,500 people from prison, I guess, for cannabis charges, maybe. If that's true, that's great. That's a start. The only thing I had a problem with the Biden pardon, which it's good. Every prisoner we get out is good. Don't get me wrong. But we can't forget about the ones that are in federal prison and stuff. I don't know anybody that's doing federal time that I might have to go hit my dog. I don't know anybody that's doing federal time that's in there for simple possession.
Daddy, I'm at the door.
Was it too much to handle?
No, she kept sitting down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think she was quite ready. Oh, yeah.
Well, they were both great in the place, though. She's just...
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think she was ready.
No, she sat down.
Yeah.
She said, no.
Yeah.
No. Well, at least she knows the inside of my place, so yeah, we'll keep trying that.
Well, like I say, once what'll probably happen is Jack will get, and which ain't gonna do nothing, but then I'll know.
Then you'll know. All right. Bye, sweetie.
All righty. Lulu was trying to get some. She found a new boyfriend.
Checking out my place.
Come on, Lulu. Come on. Oh, goodness sakes. Yeah. My precious little Lulu. She's only 3. Come on. Me and the neighbor, she's got a nice looking dog. And we want to have pups with Lulu and Curly, her dog. And I left Lulu over there, but she's not quite ready. So, move, Lulu. Move, Jack. So, how's everybody doing? Whew. Move, Lulu. Move, Jack. Come on, move. I want to sit here and take a hit. And then we can talk. Cool. I hope everybody's doing good. Get my glasses. I can't see well because I have retinal detachment in this eye. And they took my eyeball out and they put a rubber band around it and filled it full of oil 6-7 months ago. Monday, the oil's coming out. So I can't see out of this eye. Hey, Lawrence of Arabia, cool. Right on. Right on. Hey, I'm going to, I'm an old stoner. The old can. Pipes taste too weird. I don't know. Just call me an old stoner. Anyhow, in a minute, I'll show you the Cannebago, the vehicle that I travel the United States in. Cool. I seen the FedEx truck go by. My package might come in today. I had to order a new debit card. Anyhow, this is the Kennebago. Yeah, I wish I could roll. I mean, I know how to roll joints, but I smoke too much if I roll joints. Somebody that gives me a joint, or that's all I can buy, I tear it apart, and that joint will last me all day compared to lighting it and lasting me an hour and a half, 2 hours. Because I'm the type, I can't light it, take a couple hits, and put it out. At best, I'd have to smoke half before I really convince myself to put it out. I'm weak. Back when I smoked cigarettes, I didn't smoke half of cigarettes. I smoked the full ones, But this is what it's all about, man. Nobody belongs in prison for weed. And if Biden released 2,500, that's cool, but there's thousands more. So please consider signing the petition. That's also to get it out of a Class 1 narcotic, so all the good American people can have their gun rights back under federal law. Nobody talks about that one but me, as far as I know. That one's to keep people from being able to do elderly abuse, like, bullying and harassing, cyberbullying and stuff like that. If you want to find my Facebook, there's that. Like I say, nobody belongs in jail for weed. Goodness. But new paint job, and if surgery goes well and everything, I may be hitting the road in March or April. And I want to do one more trip back to Washington, D.C. Hopefully get Mr. Trump's attention and him do the right thing. Just go ahead and say, you know what, enough's enough. When I first started this, Obama was in office, and they've said since then they was going to declassify it, to get it out of the Class 1. Well, that's been a 12-year lie, at least a 12-year lie. And it's time that we do it. Biden's thing about simple possession. And why simple possession? Nobody belongs in jail for weed. Now, if they have another charge, cocaine, heroin, a gun, robbery, whatever, yeah, they have to serve that time out. But it don't matter if a person had a ton of pot. They should be released. But there's nobody in federal prison for simple possession. It's an ounce, quarter pound, whatever. So once he did a good thing, but that just does it on the state level. We need him to do it on the federal level. Just like why he's promised that he would get it out of the Class 1 narcotic. In March, he set up a team in March to research, dropping it down to a Schedule 2, which it shouldn't be in Schedule 2. That's cocaine and stuff. And you still won't be able to bear arms. Look at Hunter Biden. But see, people aren't paying attention to that. Hey, much love. Well, good luck with it, my friend, because it's a hard, long road. Look up on Google my name. Seriously. For the first, let's see. 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, the first 5 years, my first name was Jim. And for the first 5 years, the news dubbed me 420 Jim Stevens, because my last name used to be Stevens. And they dubbed me 420 Jim Stevens. And that stuck. until July 6th or 8th, I forget, of 2019. And then I legally became 420 Jim. That's a legal driver's license. My last name's on top like they do on driver's license. Jim. First name 4, middle name 20, last name Jim. I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. That's why I got a couple of trolls that you got to pay no attention to like I do. Give them forgiveness in your heart like I've got to. I hide from no one. I have people lie on me all the time. And the closer you get to the man above, the more the demons come out to try and crush you and attack you, because they don't want you to give that forgiveness that you got to give. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, if you only knew, man. Hey, Google, I'm seriously. Go to Google and just do a search. I've made news coast to coast. I've been on late breaking news in Lubbock, Texas. I've been on Amarillo, top story, lead story. Couple times in Kansas, I was on the TV news. I mean, just all over different places. First place I was on the news was in Colorado back in 2014. And I went to a 420 thing there. And that was the very first news story. But newspapers all over. Emporia, Kansas. If you look on my thing here, the shorts and whatever, the lives and short, you'll see one of them. There's a newspaper article. I'm really proud. This is my most favorite newspaper article. And it says, you can't spell healthcare without THC. Big old bold letters. They forgot you can't spell pharmacy without harm. They left that out. But to have the headline, you can't spell healthcare without THC, I thought that was pretty good for Emporia, Kansas. And they still don't have legal weed there. Now, my second best favorite is from Kingston, Tennessee. And that would be when Sergeant Woody pulled me over, profiled me, gave me a sobriety test. He didn't end it there. He decided that he would go ahead and we'll just go ahead and take a hit while I finish the story. I'm going through Kingston, Tennessee on my way to Knoxville, which I've done that many a time because I go to Knoxville quite a few times almost every year. And I'm going through. I'm going on through, and a state trooper goes flying by me, and that gets my attention. Like, wow, he was coming up pretty quick for me not to have seen him, because I driving this vehicle decorated like that, you kind of get profiled. People see it. So I look in the mirror, and here's coming another one. And I'm like, oh, now that's what they're going to do. They're going to, the one in front of me, I'm going to see him put on his brake lights and his overheads, and the one in the back's going to swoop in behind me. Nope, didn't happen. He just keeps on coming up in the rearview mirror. Flies right on by. And he was a younger black officer. I shot him a peace sign as he flew on by. Look in the mirror, there's another one coming up and another one behind him, and I'm like, whoa, this might get real quick, because as I'm trying to see if the ones up front are going to slow down or hit the turnaround, as that next one behind, the third one, gets about 50 feet on my bumper, he turns the rollers on and pulls in behind me. And then the one behind him does that. And I'm expecting the other ones to either back up or turn around. But I never seen them after today. They never came back. But this would be Sergeant Woody of the Kingston, Tennessee Police Department that done this. we're here at the front of the vehicle at first, and this was all Facebook Live. And he's yada, yada, yada about my eyes being red. And I'm like, officer, do you see the cataracts? Because I've got these bad cataracts in both eyes, you can see. And he wouldn't say nothing, and he tried to, and I said, do you see my cataracts? And we went back and forth about 4 times, and finally he said, yes. And I said, well, see, my eyes stay red all the time. And he says, well, I think you're impaired. Just come back here to the back of the car, and will you consent to this field sobriety test? That's an agility test, not a sobriety test, let me tell you. That's an agility test. It has nothing to do with sobriety. You're already nervous because, they got you pulled over, la-di-da, whatever. So he was a little bit of a smart ass about it and said, you can set your phone down there and record it, So I did. And we're there a good probably 8 to 10 minutes to do the test. You had to follow the pen without moving your head, with your eyes, and stand on one leg and touch it up, just all kind of bullshit. And like I say, by now we've been there total of 15 minutes. Okay, so what's the difference of us being there and having to move to another place? That comes into play. Anyhow, the test gets over, and you'd never believe what he tells me. He says, you passed. He told me I passed. Yeah. Well, this guy told me I passed. Guess what he told me next? I want you to pull down to the next exit into the Exxon at the end of the ramp and meet me there where you'll get your ticket for failure to maintain lanes. I about fell over, And then I seen his sergeant stripes and his tag, Woody. And I'm like, Sergeant Woody, you profiled me, and you're going to write me a ticket to justify this in your mind? I will fight your ticket. I fight him across the country. And he's kind of like, go ahead. Like I don't lose, Now, I didn't know that probably 9 out of 10 drivers in that area of Keystone either has personally met, been pulled over, or know someone that has. See, I didn't know this, but the whole town knows Sergeant Woody. I find this out later. So I get down there, and it's lightly raining, and I'm trying to, because I'm Facebook Live, I try to go around the cop car to show the license plate and stuff. Because the one cop, Woody, he's half-assed in the car like Jackie Gleason and, doing it. And the other one's just standing out there like this watching me. As I get about a third of the way around the back of the car, and he says, you can't go behind the vehicles. And I'm like, what? And yeah, you can't do that. Why not? And he says, I'm in fear for my life. Second time I about fell over. This guy had twice me. And he was in fear for his life. So he says, if you'd like, you can step inside out of the rain until the citation's filled out, and I'll call you out to sign it. Pay attention. This plays in later. And I'm like, okay, thank you. A few minutes later, I get the ticket for failure to maintain lanes. He tells me to have a good day, and they go on off as they see me drive off. Well, I get to my friend's house in Knoxville about a half hour later, and I call up the courthouse, and I'm like, yo, I just got a ticket from a state trooper. I know y'all haven't got it, in there yet. I just got this ticket. Can I come in the morning or sometime this week? I didn't say in the morning. I said, can I get a earlier time I can come in to address it to the judge, because I travel the United States and I'm going to have to stay in your town until I get this ticket taken care of. And you might want to go on the internet and see what I'm talking about and what my vehicle looks like. Do you want it in your town for a week, a month, whatever? You know what I mean? And Kingston's not a little town, but it is kind of a small town, nice people. And she said, we'll call you back. And it was about 15 minutes later, I get a call back. It says, can you be here in the morning? Which surprised me. And I'm like, sure I can. So I get there, and I had the RV, like I just showed y'all. It was called the Cannabus then. Similar paint job, pot leaves, crosses, stuff like that. If you want to see what it really looked like, go look on the internet. But I fly flags all over it. Pot flags, America flag, one with the blue and the red bar for fire department and police, you know. Just fly these flags. And it looks kind of cool. So I made sure to get there at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Court was at 8:30. So I met people that came by, you know. Everybody was wanting to, you know, get a picture, tag the RV, stuff like that. 8 o'clock, I had to shut the doors and go inside the court. Of course, it's sitting out there, the flags flying and all. And that's probably when the newspaper reporter took the picture, because I don't think there was anybody standing and, you know, by the, you know, but it was a full Cannabus with the flags flying and all. Looked really cool on the front page. You will not believe the headline. I'll tell you in a minute. So anyhow, we get into court. And I guess the newspaper reporter was in the court, because when it was over, he come and did a little interview and took a picture of me leaving the courtroom, showing my pot shirt, and giving the judge in the courtroom a peace sign, because I kicked Woody's ass in court. But the only reason I did was he told the truth. Now, if he lied, yeah, if he had said one lie, I wouldn't have won. But I got to give him credit. He was a good man, and he told the truth, and that's the only reason I won. Now, I won't bore you with the whole story of that. But anyhow, the judge threw the case out, and there was a lawyer in the courtroom that came over and said, hey, if they ever give me more harassment, I'll represent you for free. I like how you handled your case. And that's when... when the judge said not guilty, the courtroom went wild. He had to hit the gavel a couple of times. All right. It was not that, you know, great, or not that funny, or whatever it was. I was just happy as hell and shooting a peace sign as I'm walking out the door to get on Facebook and post what had happened. The next day, the headline read, "To be blunt." That was the 3-word headline, "To be blunt." Me, after reading the story, you know what happened? To me, it means to be blunt. I kicked Officer Woody's ass in court. But the cool thing is, a year later, I'm sitting back in their town, but I'm parked on private property at a smokehouse bar and grill when a Tennessee state trooper comes flying in and gets out and comes over to my table, and before I can get my camera on or anything, there's Sergeant Woody, the one that I kind of put, to shame in his town. He comes up to the table and says, "I respect you," and shook my hand, got in his car and drove off. I do have a picture of him getting back in his car and stuff, but I wished I would have had it on video. But what happened earlier that day, a funeral went by. And I happened to be set up near the road when I seen the funeral. I don't care who it is. It don't matter, who it is. A funeral, I'm old school. So I take off the hat, and come to find out, Sergeant Woody, it was one of his supervisors when he was training and stuff that was retired, but he was a retired trooper. And I guess when he went through with the procession and all, he seen me out there giving the respect to the fallen officers. And that's a hell of a good cop. And we got lots of great, wonderful cops. We got some useless ones too. I yet to find a good one in the FBI. I need to find that one good one in the FBI. One day I will, maybe, but they're as worthless as tits on a bull unless they want to use you. Oh, goodness. And see, that's just one incident. If you can get, I'll tell you another good story of an illegal search that happened with Huntington, West Virginia state trooper. Okay, this is in 2014, Walmart parking lot between midnight and 1 a.m. There's a state trooper headquarters in the corner over by the corner of Walmart. So why would somebody park a pot bus, someone probably wouldn't do that. Well, anyhow, if you can guess the two officers' names, I'll tell you the story. You would never guess these officers' names. You would expect it to be in a Cheech and Chong movie. Would you like to try and guess their names? I went through a illegal search, Huntington, West Virginia, back in 2014, I think it was. There's a couple people on my Facebook, and one, he's not on Facebook no more, but he's on my YouTube here and there. If you see Sean pop in here or there, you could ask him. That's when we first met. But it was Trooper Roach. Like Roach. Trooper Roach and Sergeant Hash of the West Virginia State Police. And that's a true story. Absolutely true story. True names. Officer Roach and Sergeant Hash. Back to Tennessee. The year before Woody being shamed with the 2B blunt, I was in Knoxville. Now, this one didn't make the news, but I was coming into Knoxville, and kind of like when I was pulled over by Woody, we had light, wind, and rain. And the motorhome's like a cell, it's going to wiggle a bit and whatnot, but as long as you don't cross the center line or hit the railroad strip, you're not doing nothing wrong, like I proved. Well, anyhow, there's this unmarked one comes and pulls me over. It's the darker gray, whatever. It's got the lights, but no light bar, whatever, the undercover ones. He asks me to get out of the motorhome, blah, 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 come over, and we're talking, and he's telling me how I'm going 2 miles under the speed limit, impeding traffic and stuff. And I'm thinking, damn, I've got a really, 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 really clean driving record, almost spotless. And I drove tow truck 13 years. You drive the speed of the road conditions, not the posted speed, road conditions. And with light, wind, and rain, I could go 5 miles under the speed limit and be doing what I'm supposed to be doing, as a good driver and all. But I wasn't arguing that. But as he's telling me this, a full-fledged trooper, the two-tone brown with all the lights on it, it pulls behind his unmarked car. So now you've got the pot bus, you got an unmarked flashing lights, bumpers and everywhere, and then you've got like an undercoverage taking me down. Then you got a full-fledged state trooper, and then all of a sudden you got another full-fledged state trooper behind that one. And as those two got out of their cars and met together to walk over to us, you heard crunch. It was funny because I knew right then and there people couldn't help but rubberneck. I didn't cause an accident. Me driving the way I was would have never caused an accident. But maybe pulling over a vehicle. That looked like mine with an undercover car and then 2 other full-fledged, that might not be a good idea. That might not be a good idea, because people rubberneck when they see my vehicle. Let alone, can you imagine when you got 3 cop cars behind you on the side of the road? But one thing is, too, when I'm on the road, the 10 years I was with different petitions to different presidents, every time a cop come by, good visit, bad cop, good cop, whatever, that's when people would come by. Why was the cops here? You know, why didn't the cops run you away? Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. That's why, and don't pay attention to what trolls say about people. Don't judge people. If you really want to find or judge them, get both sides of the story. And always remember, there's always 3 sides. His, mine, and the truth. But people lie on me all the time, and my life's been on Facebook, YouTube, television news, newspaper news, whatever, for 11 years now. And if I was doing anything like these trolls are trying to accuse me of to get people upset, why in the world hasn't I been in jail, ticketed, or nothing? And they think it's a funny joke to send the cops to me as a welfare check, which proves, So, it is what it is. And one day, hopefully, instead of them terrorizing the elderly, maybe the FBI and stuff will get involved like they're supposed to. It's cyberbullying, but it's actually cyberbullying of the elderly. And that's why I got the elder abuse petition. Well, I need to get out of here because I'm going to be on Facebook here shortly. I do, it's almost 5 here. In about 2 hours or just over 2 hours, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, I'll be on Facebook. If you want to find my Facebook, it's FOURTWENTYJIM, 420 Jim. Follow along, send a friend request, whatever. That starts at 7 p.m. I've got people that's been there the whole 9-10 years, whatever. So, any doubts or anything, it's good because they can answer, even if they just answer in Messenger, not on the main screen, because a lot of people, they felt the retaliation from these trolls, because like I say, they've done it 4 years. And before, we used to talk about it and this, that, and the other, and they would threaten all my friends and stuff. And so luckily that one of the head ones no longer does that, and he's willing to turn evidence against the ones that's still doing it. And like I say, if we could ever get a federal agent of any kind to step up and do their damn job, they might be justice for 420 Jim. But almost daily, I get harassing messages, and almost daily they say it's because of my stupid name. And I'd like to know that, So, hey, if there's ever any FBI's watching these or whatever, WTF, man. Why won't none of y'all come take a report or talk to me? Is it because of my name? That wouldn't be very cool. But cyberbullying and cyberbullying the elderly and stuff, it shouldn't happen. And I'm going to keep saying that until somebody does something and we change it. Because if everybody thinks it's illegal and funny, well, that's something we need to change. I don't want people in jail for pot. Most people agree. So we're trying to change. Well, I don't want nobody terrorized by people. And to give you what they think is a cool thing to do, my mom was murdered. Now they're even arguing this. But my mom was murdered Christmas Day in the late 80s in Sarasota, Florida. And Christmas Day. And, 1 week before Christmas, of course, they send me this as a joke. Not FedEx, not UPS or something, but by the United States Post Office. And I don't think UPS and stuff, normally they hand it to you or whatever, but I was so lucky. My mailman, my local mailman, she had enough respect for me and my age and everything. She didn't want me to get the shock seeing this in the mailbox. She didn't know what it was about at all. She just knew it was a sick joke and it had a stamp on it and she had to deliver it. So she hand delivered it to me and said, I didn't want you to just walk out there and get this. And of course I got a police report from the deputy sheriff that thinks that this is sick. But according to our head postmaster and whatnot, it's perfectly cool to terrorize someone through the U.S. mail. It's not cyberbullying. It's not harassing. I'd like for his parents to get some of this on the anniversary of a death. It don't have to be a murder. But, you know, if some of these people make these stupid rules up, if it happened to them, maybe they'd change it. I don't know. I did ask the one lady when I was trying to talk to the governor's office in Arizona here. I says, well, why don't I just forward this, because they said fake dog shit too. I said, well, how about if I just forward this to the governor's office and this here about cremating? Well, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I'm like, why? Why would that make them any more important than me? And why would that make any more harassing to me? And then that's when she didn't want to talk to me no more, of course. But it's cool. It's cool. I try and give them forgiveness, and I do give them forgiveness. I really do. I want them to stop. And the only way they're going to stop, according to them, is if the law tells them it's illegal and it stops them. So, hey, let's go. Justice for Jim. Bethany Simpson. Hello, my friend. How you doing? Well, like I was saying, in about 2 hours, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, I will be on my Facebook page. You can join in, you know. You don't have to be a friend to watch or nothing. My channel's public. That's why they harass me via text messages when I do my lives. I do one almost every evening there. I'm trying to build up the YouTube channel here because I'd like to get back on the road in 2 months and head to DC with this new petition. Get everybody signing it. Nobody belongs in jail for weed. We're on a start. Biden just released 2,500, I heard, or was pardoned 2,500. Well, we need to get the ones that are in there for major cannabis crimes and stuff. But just the cannabis part. But if all they had was cannabis, they don't need to be in jail. They've been there long enough for that. Remember, I don't know if people probably forgot Jeb Mazansky that got life without parole. When I first started doing this back in 2014, I learned about him and his family, and he was in prison. And I told people about his petition all the way to Washington, D.C. my first year. And, I forget exactly how long, year and a half later, he got out. And then a couple of years later, they done away with the sentence totally. He got off parole. He got off everything. So that's what we need to do, and that's what we need to do with all of our federal prisoners. But he got caught up in the 3 strikes you're out. And no one can no longer go to prison for life over drugs like that in Missouri no more. And that's all pretty much due to Jeb Mazansky and his case. His case set the precedent for that. Just like I held the very first cannabis event at Mount Rushmore. I took the comment off because I just don't need the BS. But of course my trolls said that I was riding someone else's coat, that it wasn't my event. It's awful funny if you read the event papers. I'm the one that pulled the permit under my religious rights. And that's why it didn't cost anything. And all permits and stuff was made out to me. But see, that's what I say. They can't post the truth on anything. But my co-host was Ross Don Meeks. Hey, my envelope's here. My co-host was Ross Don Meeks. If you look up U.S. government versus Meeks, Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, you will find she's the first person to ever get to testify in front of a jury about medical marijuana. So there's that. Hey!
Jim by chance?
420 Jim, you know it.
There you go.
Hey, thank you, my brother.
Man.
Is this your first time coming by?
Oh no, I had came by here before. I met you before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got the little.
Oh, the little Jesus?
Yeah.
That's why I asked, because I was going to give you another one if you didn't.
Oh yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one now. Hey, I guess I got my debit card. Woohoo. Anyhow, enough stories for today. Here, got to save some. If you'd like to hear more or know more, you've got a couple options. You can join on Facebook tonight at 7 here in a couple hours, or you can go down my timeline and stuff, or you can Google my name, 420 Jim. You can search it two different ways. Spell it out like it is on my driver's license, FOURTWENTYJIM. Or you can type in the numbers 420 and then JIM. Either way, there's hundreds of stories, and 99% of them are true. And the ones that aren't all come from the same source and whatnot. And like I say, if you don't have haters, I guess you're not doing something right. So until tomorrow at 420 here on YouTube, if you can, hit the like, hit that little subscribe. It don't cost nothing to subscribe, but the more people subscribe, the better chance that, it comes up in the algorithm and stuff. And after my eye surgery and I get on the road here in another month and a half to 2 months, I guarantee you're going to like the lives that I could do, because I do them on Facebook all the time. Just like if a cop pulled up right now for a welfare check, as soon as the sheriff pulls in, I go live, and you get to see how tax dollars get wasted and whatnot. And that's not picking on the cops. They're just doing their job. They get dispatched, they have to do it. I want to point out all the wasted time and whatnot, and how people can just call in a welfare check on someone for no reason over and over. And they've done this in a couple of different states. And it's just a waste of their time and resources. They could be out there catching a real criminal or something, saving a person's life, directing traffic, whatever. Like I say, I have high respect for good cops. I think the bad ones need to be fired. And evidently they ain't one good one, the FBI. Or he ain't heard of me and I ain't heard of him. All I ask is for, give me your 15 minutes and let me show you something. It's going to happen one day, I think. Well, until tomorrow, peace, love, and cannabis for all. One team, one dream, united we stand. And if we try, folks, we can all get along. My dogs, Jack and Lilu, love you. I love you. And Jesus loves you. Never forget that. See you tomorrow. Peace out.